Cadillac has built some of the most legendary machines ever to roll off an American assembly line. But for every legend, there's a disaster hiding behind that iconic crest. Today you're getting the full truth. 3 Cadillacs that will drain your wallet dry, and 4 that will run forever. Let's get into it. Worst number 3, most deceptive. We're starting at number 3 on the worst list, and this one stings because it had so much promise. Meet the 1997 to 2001 Cadillac Catera, or as owners quickly renamed it, the Caddy that zigs into the shop. Cadillac's marketing team had the nerve to call this thing the Caddy that zigs and plaster a cartoon duck named Ziggy all over their ads. But here's what they didn't tell you. It zigged straight into the dealership service bay and it barely came back out. The Catera was essentially a rebadged Opel Omega, a European sedan that General Motors dressed up in a Cadillac tuxedo and sold to unsuspecting American buyers. And on the surface, it looked the part. Sleek European styling, a modern interior, and a badge that carried decades of prestige. But underneath that hood sat one of the worst engines General Motors ever produced. A 3.0-liter V6 with a bizarre 54-degree bank angle instead of the standard 60 degrees. That unusual design wasn't just an engineering curiosity, it was a reliability catastrophe waiting to happen. The engine produced a modest 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque, which was already underwhelming for a luxury sedan in its class. But the real problem wasn't the power output, it was everything else. Timing belt failures were rampant, and when that belt snapped, it took the entire engine with it. Overheating was so common that owners started keeping extra coolant in the trunk like it was a standard accessory. Oil leaks showed up from seemingly every gasket and seal the engine had. And the electrical system, random warning lights, dead sensors, and failed modules became a weekly ritual for Catera owners. The warranty failure rate on this engine was so high that it became legendary inside General Motors for all the wrong reasons. Now, if you already own one, here's what you need to do. Replace that timing belt every 60,000 miles without exception, flush the coolant system every 2 years, and change your oil every 3,000 miles. But honestly, the best advice is to walk away. Only around 100,000 Cateras were ever sold across its entire 5-year run. A commercial failure that proved you can't slap a Cadillac badge on a problem and call it luxury. The Catera didn't just fail, it embarrassed the brand. And speaking of embarrassing the brand, the next car on our worst list didn't just embarrass Cadillac, it nearly destroyed everything the name stood for. We're talking about a car so bad that dealers refused to put it on their showroom floors. Worst number 2, most notorious. Number 2 on the worst list is the one that automotive historians still argue about today. The 1982 Cadillac Cimarron, nicknamed the Badge Blunder. And brother, that nickname doesn't even begin to cover it. Here's the story behind this disaster. In the early 1980s, Cadillac dealers were screaming at General Motors for a small luxury car to compete with the European imports, flooding the American market. So GM looked around the parts bin, grabbed a Chevrolet Cavalier, threw some leather seats in it, bolted on a Cadillac grille, and called it a day. That's not an exaggeration. The Cimarron shared its entire body, chassis, and most of its mechanical components with the base Cavalier. The development process took just 6 months, which meant designers couldn't change the sheet metal, couldn't rework the suspension, and couldn't do much of anything except swap the badges and add some interior trim. And the engine they dropped under that hood was an insult to every person who ever saved up to buy a Cadillac. A 1.8-liter overhead valve inline 4-cylinder, producing just 88 horsepower and 100 pound-feet of torque. In a car wearing the most prestigious American luxury badge in history, 0 to 60 miles per hour took somewhere between 16 and 17 seconds. To put that in perspective, a loaded moving truck can almost keep pace with that. Cadillac dealers were so disgusted that many of them flat out refused to stock the Cimarron unless General Motors forced their hand. And buyers who did purchase one quickly discovered that the interior materials were pure Cavalier. Cheap plastics, flimsy trim, and a fit and finish that had no business wearing a Cadillac crest. If you somehow end up owning one, treat it exactly like the Cavalier it is. Oil every 3,000 miles, timing belt every 60,000 miles, and watch for rust in the floor pans and wheel arches because the J-body platform rusts aggressively, but the real damage the Cimarron caused wasn't mechanical. It was reputational. One prominent automotive journalist famously called it a Chevette in a tuxedo. And that quote followed Cadillac for the better part of 2 decades. The Cimarron is widely credited with single-handedly damaging Cadillac's luxury reputation throughout the entire 1980s. A wound so deep it took 20 years to fully heal. Now, if you thought the Cimarron was bad, hold on, because the #1 worst Cadillac of all time didn't just embarrass the brand, it made Cadillac write letters of apology to its own customers. You're not going to believe this one. Worst number 1, worst overall. Number 1 on the worst list is the darkest chapter in Cadillac's entire history. The 1982 Cadillac full-size lineup equipped with the HT4100 engine And HT stood for high technology, which is one of the most ironic names ever given to an automotive component. This engine was so catastrophically bad that Cadillac was forced to send letters directly to customers, extending warranties and essentially apologizing for selling them a defective product. Let that sink in. One of America's most prestigious luxury brands had to write apology letters to its own buyers. Here's what went wrong. The HT4100 was a 4.1-liter V8 with an aluminum block and cast iron heads, an unusual and deeply problematic combination that created massive thermal expansion mismatches between the two materials. It produced just 135 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. In cars that weighed over 4,200 pounds, the math on that is brutal. General Motors rushed this engine into the full-size DeVille, Fleetwood, Seville, and Eldorado because they needed to meet tightening federal fuel economy standards, even though the engine was originally designed for the smaller front-wheel drive cars that wouldn't arrive until 1985. So they shoved an undersized, underpowered, and fundamentally flawed engine into massive luxury cars it was never engineered to handle. And instead of using proper gaskets throughout the engine, GM used RTV silicone sealant in critical areas. A cost-cutting decision that turned into a reliability nightmare the moment those seals weren't applied to a perfectly clean surface. The failure sequence was almost always the same. Intake manifold gaskets leaked, coolant entered the oil, the engine overheated, head gaskets blew, and the motor was done. If you own one of these, you need to inspect those intake manifold gaskets every 20,000 miles, flush the coolant system every single year, and change the oil every 2,500 miles. Many owners and mechanics simply swap the HT4100 out for a Buick 3.8-liter V6 or an Oldsmobile 307 cubic inch V8, both dramatically more reliable alternatives. And here's the kicker. The year before, in 1981, Cadillac had already released the disastrous V8 6.4-cylinder deactivation engine that also failed spectacularly. 2 consecutive catastrophic engine failures in 2 years. That is the definition of rock bottom. But here's the good news. Cadillac learned from every single one of those disasters, and what came next is nothing short of remarkable. Now that you've seen the worst Cadillac had to offer, it's time to flip the script. Because when this brand gets it right, it gets it spectacularly right. These next 4 Cadillacs aren't just good, they're the kind of machines you can drive for the rest of your life. Best number 4, rarest, most collectible. Coming in at number 4 on the best list is the rarest and most collectible Cadillac ever built in the modern era. The 2011 to 2015 Cadillac CTS-V Sport Wagon, and we're calling it the Sleeper Hauler for reasons that are going to make complete sense in about 30 seconds. Picture this. You pull up to a stoplight in what looks like a sensible family wagon. The guy next to you in his sports car gives you a polite nod. You put your foot down, and you're gone. Because hiding under the hood of this grocery getter is a 6.2-liter LSA supercharged V8 producing 556 horsepower and 551 pound-feet of torque. The same engine that powered the CTS-V sedan, one of the most respected performance cars America has ever produced. 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. In a station wagon, with room for the dog, the bikes, and a full load of lumber in the back. Goodwood Road and Racing called it one of the greatest sleeper cars ever built, and Motor Trend said the mere fact that Cadillac had the audacity to build it was impressive in itself. And here's what makes this car genuinely special beyond the performance: reliability. The LSA engine is a proven, robust unit with a strong track record when properly maintained. Change the oil every 5,000 miles with full synthetic, inspect the supercharger belt and tensioner every 30,000 miles. Change the rear differential fluid every 30,000 miles, especially if you drive it hard, and flush the brake fluid every 2 years. The MagneRide shock absorbers are the main expense to watch. Budget around $1,500 per corner when they eventually need replacement. But here's the number that should really get your attention. Only approximately 1,500 to 2,000 of these wagons were ever produced across the entire production run. And today, clean examples are selling for $40,000 to $60,000 or more, higher than their original sticker price. That means the Sleeper Hauler is not just a performance car, and not just a practical hauler, it's an appreciating asset. If you find a clean one, you buy it, no questions asked. Now, if the Sleeper Hauler is the rarest Cadillac you can own, the next car on our best list is the most culturally significant SUV America has ever produced. We're talking about a machine that appeared in over 100 rap songs, became the symbol of an entire era, and proved that Cadillac could build something bulletproof. Best number 3, best SUV. Number 3 on the best list is the car, or rather the SUV, that made Cadillac cool again. The 2002 to 2006 Cadillac Escalade second generation built on the GMT 820 platform. We're calling it the King of Bling. And if you were alive in America between 2002 and 2006, you already know exactly why. And this thing appeared in over 100 rap songs and music videos. Jay-Z had one, Nelly had one, Ludacris had one. The second generation Escalade became the undisputed symbol of American success and hip-hop luxury simultaneously. But here's what most people don't talk about. Underneath all that cultural cachet was a genuinely excellent truck. The Gen 2 Escalade was built on the same GMT 8020 platform as the Chevy Tahoe and GMC Yukon Denali, and it was powered by a 6.0-liter LQ9 Vortec V8 producing 345 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. That engine is a pushrod overhead valve iron block unit, the same fundamental architecture that has powered American trucks for decades. Simple, robust, and extraordinarily durable when you take care of it. Motor Trend called it an SUV that everyone wanted to own, be seen in, personalize, and rap about. And Goodwood Road and Racing said it perfected the formula for the luxury SUV segment. To keep one running forever, change the oil every 5,000 miles, flush the transmission fluid every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, change the transfer case fluid every 50,000 miles, and grease those front CV axles and U-joints every 30,000 miles. The air suspension compressor is the most common failure point. Budget $500 to $1,200 for that repair when it comes. Also check for frame rust if you're buying one from a northern or salt belt state. These trucks were driven hard and not always garaged. The long wheelbase ESV and the EXT pickup variant were also offered, giving you 3 different body styles on the same bulletproof platform. And here's the thing about the Gen 2 Escalade that separates it from everything else on this list. Parts are cheap, mechanics know this platform inside and out, and well-kept examples just keep running. The King of Bling earned its crown, but if you want a Cadillac that didn't just dominate American culture, but actually went to Germany and humiliated the competition on their own turf, the next car on our best list is the one you need to hear about. Number 2 on the best list is the car that made BMW and Mercedes-Benz engineers lose sleep. The 2016 to 2019 Cadillac CTS-V 3rd generation, built on the Alpha platform. We're calling it the Nürburgring Nightmare, and here's why that nickname is completely earned. In 2015, Cadillac took this car to the Nürburgring Nordschleife in Germany, the most demanding race circuit on the planet, and lapped it in 7 minutes and 29.6 seconds. That's faster than the Ferrari 458 Italia. Let that land for a second. A 4-door American luxury sedan built in Detroit went to Germany and outran a Ferrari. Under the hood sits a 6.2-liter LT4 supercharged V8, the same engine that powers the Corvette Z06, producing 640 horsepower and 630 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds. But what separates the Gen 3 CTS-V from being just a straight-line monster is the complete package. The Alpha platform underneath is shared with the Camaro SS and ZL1, meaning the chassis was engineered for serious performance from the ground up. Magnaride 4.0 adaptive suspension keeps it planted through corners, while remaining genuinely comfortable on the highway. Automotive journalists said it can embarrass European rivals that cost significantly more, and called it a genuine American super sedan that rivals anything from BMW's M Division or Mercedes AMG. And because the LT4 is a pushrod overhead valve design, not a complex twin-turbocharged European unit, it's far simpler to maintain and far more durable long-term. Change the oil every 5,000 to 7,000 or 500 miles. With full synthetic, keep a separate eye on the supercharger intercooler fluid reservoir, change the differential fluid every 30,000 miles, and swap the transmission fluid every 45,000 miles. The Magnaride shocks will eventually need replacement, budget $1,500 to $2,000 per corner, and always inspect used examples carefully for track use history. But if you find a clean one, you're getting supercar performance wrapped in a 4-door luxury sedan that you can drive to work on Monday and to the track on Saturday. Now, before we crown the absolute best Cadillac ever built, let's take a quick look back at everything we've covered, because the contrast between the worst and the best tells you everything about what this brand is truly capable of. Let's run it back real quick, because this list has been a wild ride from top to bottom. Starting with the worst, number 3 was the 1997 to 2001 Cadillac Catera, the caddy that zigs into the shop. A rebadged Opel Omega with a 3.0-liter V6 that had one of the highest warranty failure rates in General Motors history. Timing belt failures, overheating, oil leaks, and electrical gremlins that never quit. Only 100,000 were ever sold, and most of those owners wished they'd bought something else. Worst number 2 was the 1982 Cadillac Cimarron, the badge blunder. A Chevrolet Cavalier wearing a Cadillac badge, developed in just 6 months, powered by a 1.8-liter inline 4-cylinder, making 88 horsepower. It took 16 to 17 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour, dealers refused to stock it, and it single-handedly damaged Cadillac's reputation for the entire decade of the 1980s. One journalist called it a Chevette in a tuxedo, and honestly that's being generous. And worst number 1, the 1982 full-size Cadillac lineup with the HT4E100 engine, the high-tech horror. A 4.1-liter V8 making 135 horsepower in a 4,200-pound luxury car, with an aluminum block mated to cast iron heads, sealed with silicone instead of proper gaskets. Cadillac literally mailed apology letters to customers. That is the definition of rock bottom. Now flip to the best side of this list. Number 4 was the 2011 to 2015 CTS-V Sport Wagon, the sleeper hauler, 556 horsepower, sub 4 seconds 0 to 60, and only 1,500 to 2,000 ever built. A unicorn that's now worth more than it sold for new. Number 3 was the 2002 to 2006 Escalade Gen 2, the King of Bling, a bulletproof 6.0-liter Vortec V8 on a proven truck platform that became the most culturally significant SUV in American history. And number 2 was the 2016 to 2019 CTS-V Gen 3, the Nürburgring Nightmare, 640 horsepower, faster than a Ferrari 458 on the world's most demanding circuit, and reliable enough to daily drive for the rest of your life. 3 disasters, 3 legends. And now it's time for the best of the best. The one Cadillac that represents everything this brand was always capable of, and the one that automotive journalists across the world agree is the greatest American sports sedan ever built. Best number 1, best overall. Number 1 on the best list, and it's not even close. The 2022 Cadillac CT-5V Blackwing, built on the 5th generation CT5 Alpha platform. We're calling it the American Assassin, and by the time you hear what this car does, you'll understand why that name fits perfectly. Under the hood sits a 6.2-liter LT4 supercharged V8. The same engine family that powers the Corvette Z06, producing 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3.7 seconds. And here's the detail that separates the Blackwing from everything else in its class. It was offered with a 6-speed manual transmission. In 2022, in a 668 horsepower luxury sedan, Cadillac gave you the option to row your own gears in one of the most powerful 4-door cars ever built, and only approximately 1,000 manual transmission units were produced per year. That makes every manual Blackwing a future collector's car the moment it left the showroom. Experts called it quite possibly the greatest American sports sedan of all time, and said it can embarrass European rivals that cost significantly more, while noting its steering, balance, and damping are world-class. The MagneRide 4.0 suspension delivers a ride quality that feels like a luxury cruiser on the highway and a purpose-built track weapon when you want it to be. And because the LT4 is a proven pushrod overhead valve design with Corvette DNA running through it, reliability has been strong across the board. To keep yours running forever, change the oil every 5,000 to 7,500 miles with full synthetic, inspect the supercharger belt every 30,000 miles, flush the coolant every 5 years, change the rear differential fluid every 30,000 miles if you drive it hard, and always run 93 octane premium fuel. The LT4 is tuned for it, and you will feel the difference. Cadillac's engineers called the Blackwing their swan song for the internal combustion performance era, meaning every single example is historically significant the moment it was built. From the apology letters of 1982 to the greatest American sports sedan ever made, that is the full arc of what Cadillac is capable of. And the Blackwing is proof that when America gets it right, nobody does it better. That's your complete breakdown. 3 Cadillacs that will cost you everything, and 4 that will reward you for life. If this helped you make a smarter decision, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another breakdown like this one. This is Tom from Seats and Wheels. Thanks for watching.